Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today is Sunday, the 12th of January 2025. Today's video, I changed the name the last moment. Actually, in Arabic, I called it first the pretty face of Islam, but I changed it right away in the title. It's actually the prettiest face of Islam. Is there a pretty and prettiest face of Islam? We're going to see. You should be the judge. This video is actually a continuation to the video I made last week about the true face of Islam concerning this person who drove through innocent people in New Orleans, killed at least 15 people now, and many injured, and he changed so many lives. I'm not going to mention his name. He's not worthy of mentioning his name. But let's continue with the effect of Islam, the prettiest face of Islam. Let me start with a saying actually from Marilyn Monroe. May the blessing of Allah be upon her. She was a saint in comparison with the Prophet of Allah. Okay. She said, if you're gonna be two-faced, at least make one of them pretty. Out of the two faces, if you're going to be two-faced, make one of them pretty. And that's why we're going to look if there is a pretty face in Islam. And what's the prettiest face? How many faces Islam has? That's a good question. And what's the prettiest face? Reality is Islam, for those who speak Arabic, for those who know the language and the culture, Muslim leaders and those who are concerned with Islam, when they speak to one another, they have one speech. When they speak to outsider, there is another speech. And that's allowed because you are using something called taqiyya, which is you don't have to reveal everything to the enemies of Allah. So the Mufti of Egypt, he went to Germany and he spoke in Germany. And when he spoke to the German, he sounds like very loving, very mild person. And yet, when he comes to speak to the Egyptian authority, totally different person. And that's okay. That's okay. So we're going to examine today about this person who unfortunately killed many people in New Orleans, his life, because when I saw him first, I didn't know anything about him. His face, he looks either African American or from the subcontinent of India, which primarily the people there are from Pakistan or Bangladesh. That's the majority of the Muslim over there. So I thought he might, because his full name is Islamic and Arabic. And normally the African American who convert to Islam, or many people who convert to Islam, they change only the first name and they leave the family name, and they gave an example of Muhammad Ali. His name was called Cash Clay. He changed it to Muhammad Ali Clay. He kept his family name. Nonetheless, this person, he had his first, middle, and last name Arabic names. So I thought he might be from that area, Pakistan or Bangladesh, or he could be from India, because there are quite a few Muslims in India. nonetheless, and I thought he could also be of African American descent because he has dark skin. And reality is he was of African American descent who converted to Islam. He was, I don't know if he was like those who are traditional Christian who keep Christian faith, or like some people are born into Christian family, but he really doesn't have anything to do with the faith. I don't know. That's not the subject anyway. He later converted to Islam, and then he came back to Christianity. And when he had difficulties in life, which many people, if not everyone, at certain point in your life experience, actually many times, every day is a struggle, and you experience difficulty in your daily life. That does not mean you go and kill people. So this person, he became Muslim, then from Christian he became Muslim, and from Muslim became Christian again, and then from Christian he went back to Islam when he had like divorce and difficulty in his life. I understand, that's not an easy thing to deal with. It's a crisis in life when you have a divorce and your family break down. Yes, I understand, but that does not give you the right to go and kill people. So as I was examining the situation, I found one hadith, and there is also Quranic verse, because many people today, they say, oh, no, I don't believe in hadith. And we have that sect of Islam now, they call themselves Quranist. They believe only in the Quran, as if the Quran is 100% waterproof or something to that effect. Anyway, so there are both Hadith and Quran. The Hadith is, it says, I'm going to put it in the description box, but also the Quranic verse. However, it says, the Prophet of Allah is as if he has nothing to do with those who live among the infidel. They will go straight to hell, and he has nothing to do with them. So that hadith, I'm going to put this in the in the description box. It is hadith, and it's in a chapter called the Book of Military. And the Prophet of Allah, may the blessing of Allah be upon him, said, I have nothing to do with those who lives among the infidels. That means Muslims, and this is a dilemma actually, Muslims who live, let's say, in America, in the United States, in Canada, in Brazil, in any of the European countries, in Korea, in Japan, in China, these are worse than the infidels. Why? Because they are living amongst the infidels, and therefore they will be influenced by them, and the best thing for them to do is to go and live in an Islamic country. So according to the Prophet of Allah, they should go to Afghanistan. Why Afghanistan? Because it's the first country that applies Sharia law, the exact laws that the Prophet of Allah left for us. And they are so advanced now and so in so much progress, they don't know what to do with the knowledge and the wealth they have. So these people should go there and help their brethren. And those who don't, the Prophet of Allah has nothing to do with you and you will go to hell. So now, this is a problem. So when you go to any Islamic country, let me take Egypt for example. Egypt has two sects, practically. Not within the Sunni faith, there are two mainstream. One is the Muslim Brotherhood, and the other one is called Salafit. The Muslim Brotherhood, they actually don't tell you the truth outright. They kind of like take you for a ride because they are ashamed, or they are a political party more than religious. But they want their religion to be the dominant part of the country, but they want to reach the political throne. So they have to be careful of what they say. So they don't give you a straight answer. Whereas the Salafit, if you tell them your religion, it says you should be a terrorist, they tell you, yeah, the Prophet of Allah told us to be terrorists. We're terrorists. We're proud of it. Actually, I saw videos on YouTube that they are so proud to be terrorists. Okay? Whereas the Muslim Brotherhood, they can like maneuver left and right to avoid giving straight answer to the question. So here, it is very clear the Prophet of Allah, may the blessing of Allah be upon him, is saying it clearly that I have nothing to do with those who live with the infidels in their countries, amongst them. It's very clear. Yet they try to find, especially the Muslim clerks in these countries, they try to find a solution to this problem, because if they inspire the people to go back to their country or go back to Afghanistan, who is going to give them donations? No one. So their life will be miserable. So they have to find a way to keep them. Now, what does that have to do with the guy who killed people in New Orleans? This guy, he was radicalized. Okay? And I think he came to a certain point in his life and thought that this anger, hate, and resentment that he learned, it shouldn't exist in my life. Maybe this is the time when his life was going okay. But when his life fell apart and he had marital problem and he had financial problems and so on and so forth, instead of taking responsibility for his problem and try to find a way to solve it, he took it on somebody else. He took it on somebody else, using that twisted faith to justify what he had done. Okay, we have, for those who don't believe in hadith, because nowadays many Muslims don't want to deal with hadith. It's embarrassing. It has so many embarrassing parts. And that does not mean that the Quran doesn't, but probably it has less, and you can maneuver better through Quran. But it does have. So they tell you, okay, I don't believe in hadith. But the Quran in chapter 4, 97, it speaks of the same problem. So here we have that in chapter 4, 97. Let me see if there's a translation. When the angel sees the souls of those who have wronged themselves. So you see, you wronged yourself by going to live among the infidels. And when the angel take your spirit, your soul, or kill you, or once you are dead, scolding them. The angel will scold them. What was wrong with you? Asking the angels of death asking. The angels will respond, was Allah's earth not spacious enough for you to migrate? Meaning, even if your original homeland, let's say I'm Lebanese, and Lebanon is more liberal country, and they have beaches and women can go and swim and stuff like that. And to a traditional Muslim, this is kuffar, this is infidels, this is against Allah. So the angel could ask you when you die, wasn't the earth of Allah wide enough so that you migrate to another place? So even in Quran, Allah is not happy with staying in these places. And such people will have evil destination. So you are going to hell. So this is Quran and Hadith says that these people are in terrible situation after death. The problem here in America, Canada, all Western countries, free nations, and even for those in the East, because I know that especially in Korea, China, might be also in Japan, some people converted to Islam there. And these people are better for them to leave their countries and go and live among the Muslim. This radical teaching is taking us now to the brink. What is happening today that these organizations, they are actually political in nature, and they are using religion because they are abusing the constitutions of the Western world against them. So here I live in the United States, and freedom of speech is a big thing here in America. You have the right to express yourself. Okay? Freedom of religion. You have the right to you can get a piece of garbage and put it and worship it. It's okay. It's your freedom. And these people are taking advantage of this. And they are using this against the West. And I am very sure within 8 days from now, President Trump will be elected as a president once again to the United States. And I hope he would do something about that. I remember when I migrated to the United States, I remember very clearly I was asked a question, because back then the Soviet Union was still here, did not collapse. And I was asked that question very clearly. Have you had anything to do with or have you worked or had any involvement with any communist party in anywhere all over the world? And if you say yes, you can't migrate to America or most of the Western countries. You have to say no. And if you are caught lying, you will be kicked out. I suggest, I don't know if this can be controlled, because now online they can still spit their hateful speech and their hateful whatever, if you want to call it religion, and try to divide people and destroy, but they cannot at least drive a truck and plow through innocent people. Okay? And if they just speak online, there are many people to speak and negate what they are saying. But they should be asked the same question. Are you a Muslim? Because this ideology is hateful, and the communist ideology that we were asked, it's an ideology that many people believed in it. So it is a belief system. And we were asked that question. Did you have anything to do with any communist activity or communist countries anywhere in the world? And if the answer is yes, they wouldn't let me come to America as a migrant, as an immigrant. And if I say no and they find out that I will lose my immigration status here in America and they will kick me out. Something in such manner should be applied. These people cannot come to enjoy the freedom and abuse it in this manner, so that one day, when their number goes up, all of us will be silenced by force. We thank you very much, and we hope to hear from you. If you have a suggestion, let me know. Thank you.